Welcome back to the finale of What If Anakin Skywalker Never Existed. Thank you to those of you who watched the other two parts of this video. To recap what happened in those episodes in the event you haven't seen them, the lack of Anakin had caused such a shift in the Force. The Mortis gods had battled for supremacy, but neither were victorious. Grandmaster Yoda discovered that the Sith were lurking in the shadows, and leaving Dooku to try and draw them out, he had managed to track Plagueis before his capture. After his rescue, Dooku proposes the idea of a clone army, when Senator Valorum appeared in front of the council. The political candidate had just been recently attacked by a shadowy figure, and having managed to escape with the help of his guards, he asked the Jedi for their help. Yoda visits the home of Valorum in an attempt to track what he thought was Plagueis, but he soon sensed that something was hiding, despite his attempts to cloak his presence. Igniting his blade, the Grand Master turns around in time to meet a sparkling lightning attack, and out from a dark corner emerged the young Sith apprentice Palpatine. Yoda could sense the raw darkness in the apprentice of Plagueis, and waiting patiently for an attack, he was surprised by the ferocity of the young Sith. By using all of his experience and speed, Yoda managed to send the lightsaber of his opponent to the streets below. Palpatine looked annoyed at his failure to defeat the Jedi, but knew they would not kill him, and with the green blade at his throat, he acrobatically leapt onto a passing speeder. Yoda did not lose sight of Palpatine, and ordered Dooku to track him to the Senate building. The Jedi Master is well on his way in his speeder, but he is suddenly stopped by Palpatine rolling in front of him. The Sith saw the potential in Dooku that was yet unused, and offered to join him to defeat Plagueis and rule the galaxy. Dooku ignores the tempting offer, and igniting his blade, the Jedi Master and the Sith battled across the streets, until more Jedi begin to surround Palpatine. The Sith cackled as a set of Force suppression cuffs are placed around his wrists, and the Jedi and the nearby civilians hear a massive explosion from close by, where the Senate building had been bombed. Shards of the domed roof landed on their heads and on the ground, and it had caused a chain reaction that destroyed the power grid of the galactic city. Leaving Dooku's Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn to complete the rest of Palpatine, Yoda leads the Jedi through to the ruins of the Senate building, and they are joined by Coruscant Underworld police and local investigators. The groups are left confused by the absence of all of the senators, and beginning to search through the ruins, the crime scene droids identify a great expanse beneath them, and Windu cut through the ground with his lightsaber. The Jedi Council members' excavation uncovered a group of terrified senators trapped by a group of bounty hunting droids in cuffs, and the Jedi jumped down for a rescue. But touching upon the patterned floor, their presence had triggered a set of alarms, and more bombs began to detonate around them. The Jedi form a circle to create a large shield around the senators, and deflect the attack until the building's emergency power supply also cut off. Igniting their blades to provide light, Yoda quietly meditated in the middle of the senators, as Plagueis moved in a flash to kill several Jedi Masters. Suddenly, a set of small insect-like creatures appeared in front of the Grand Master, and illuminated his path, whilst the voice of the daughter began to echo in his mind. Yoda moved at immense speed around the darkened room, and finding his way to Plagueis, he impaled him in the back. Expecting to sense the darkness fading away, Yoda felt concerned that the dark side had grown stronger, when he heard the voice of the daughter screaming in pain. All of the Jedi collapsed to the floor, as the son had used the dagger of Mortis to fatally wound the daughter while she had been distracted. After ensuring the senators were in a safe and secure location, Yoda wasted no time in sorting the Jedi into squadrons to fly into wild space, hoping that they could somehow defeat the sun. Leading the group to where he had remembered, the sight of the monolith brought relief to the Jedi, and they allowed themselves to be drawn in by the forces of the planet. Unlike the bright and scenic landscape that greeted Yoda on his first visit, the planet was submerged in darkness, and with all of the council igniting their blades, the sun cackled at their feeble attempts to defeat him, and with a motion of his hand, he deactivated their blades. Killing every single one of the Jedi with another small motion of his hand, he suddenly found his torso pierced by the dagger of Mortis. The daughter had used her last bit of energy to throw the dagger into the dark side user, ensuring that neither the dark nor light would triumph, bringing balance to the Force. The neutrality in the galaxy would continue until new threats would threaten the balance brought by the Mortis gods. That is it for What If Anakin Skywalker Never Existed. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on the notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, Leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.